Shut the fuck up, bitch. This fool podcast is on.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Finally here. Post show right away.
This one is looking very nice. Looks like pineapple juice.
Made West Brewing Company. Hazy IPA. Hazy IPA India Pale Ale. It's pretty light though. 7%. Not bad.
It tastes pretty good. It's very smooth. It's always nice having a IPA, especially I'm a big fan of hazy beers and
real.
IPA, so both of them put together
Probably
is a nice blend.
Probably for the rest of my life, if I had to choose, I'll choose anything that's just hazy at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. If you who's are watching this on video, you can see this shit, how beautiful it is. If you who are listening, hop on video so you can see this shit. But what's up, my guy? We fucking off of the back end of UFC 270. That shit went down right here in Anaheim, not too far from us.
Did you know that? I didn't know that before.
I didn't know that. When I was watching one of the prelim fights and I saw on top of like the fucking, what do you call that fucking giant billboard in the middle? I don't know, the fucking Jumbotron, Megatron in the fucking middle
The
of the
Dimmadome?
the Dimmadome? Whatever the fuck you call that shit. But the scoreboard, it's usually like the scoreboard in the middle. But anyways, on top of it, it said fucking Honda Center, and that's when I realized they were right here in Anaheim. I'm glad I didn't go, though. I was tempted to buy, like, last-minute tickets. I checked, it was $200 for nosebleeds. I've never been to a UFC event, and it's still one of the things on my bucket list. But, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go. The fucking main event was the snooze fest and the Mexican loss, so bad night all around.
Yeah, I haven't been to a UFC event either, but I my thing with like going to sporting events is if it's not good seats, I feel like there's no point in going.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like even going to a Dodger game, I feel like if the seats aren't legit, if you're all the way at the top, don't even go at that
For
point.
real?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Damn, why?
Cause I have a better view fucking on
At
TV than yeah.
But at home, you're not there being like, yeah, fuck
But
you,
this is how it gets, cause like the people that are always at the top, I feel like
are usually the loudest fools.
the
or
loudest
fucking
fools, and they're the
craziest
fools that don't shut the fuck up, and they're the fools that are like, "Oh, come on, oh, that was a fucking strike." Like, bitch, you can't
Yeah,
see
for-
from up there. Like, what are you talking about? Oh my god.
Yeah, for real, for real. I feel like it depends what sport, because if it's like baseball and you're sitting like left field, like luckily here the stadiums right here in LA, like fucking Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium, their outer field doesn't have decks. But there's stadiums like, for example, like the Texas Rangers or the fucking Cardinals, where their left and right field has decks. So if you're sitting like left field or center field, top deck, last row, like the action is always at home plate. You feel me? So you have like the worst seat in the stadium. But if you're like top deck at a soccer game, like the game goes different places. So at one point the game will be in front of you. But if you're in center field at a baseball game, you're like got the worst seat throughout the entire fucking game.
Exactly. You're stupid. You should never went to the game. But yeah, let's talk about the UFC right now. So, you didn't see the fight. I didn't see all of them, but I did see from start to finish the two main events.
Yeah.
The Moreno fight and the Ngannou fight. So, how do you pronounce his name? Figueroa?
I don't know who
The Brazilian that he fought.
Who fought who Ngannou?
No, Moreno.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, who was that? God damn it.
I got on this card at very last minute.
Yeah, pull it up. Yeah, but anyway, it went to decision. Fortunately, Brandon Moreno already lost his fucking first defense. But this calls for an interesting fourth fight because their first fight ended in a draw for people that don't know. So there's a draw, nobody wins. Their second time they fought, that's when Moreno won the belt. This third time now, Figueiredo won the belt, so now it's 1-1. So this is the only time I think a fourth fight makes sense when there's draws like this. So like the argument for Dustin and Connor to have that fourth fight, I feel like who gives a shit at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Connor broke his leg, so we don't really see what was gonna happen. But it's not even for a championship, so who fucking cares then at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, Dustin's gonna want to move up to 170 to fight Nate Diaz supposedly, and I'd rather see that. What the fuck? You know, I'd rather see those two guys slug it out for fucking 5 rounds, hopefully. And Yeah, I wouldn't care to see Connor. To be honest, I think I'm over Connor at this point. I don't think I really care for anything he does anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I ever want to see Conor really fight for like a title in the UFC. I just want him I just want him to have, what would you call them, like money fights.
He does. He
Like
should have
I
the
just
big
want
money fights.
like
Yeah.
I just want to see him fight I don't want to watch him fight Mayweather again. I just want him to do some kind of fucking weird fight like that. I don't really want him to be like a pro in the
What if that
UFC
fool
no
fights
more.
John Cena?
Oh, I want to see
Celebrity
him fight
boxing
John
match?
Cena. Yeah,
That
that's
shit
all.
would go hard.
I hope he fights.
Ireland versus China.
I hope he fights Jake Paul or Logan Paul.
You
Know?
do? That's the
Yeah.
one thing I actually don't hope for. We've already
Why
talked
not?
about how much we care about Jake Paul and stuff like that. I don't feel like Jake Paul deserves to have that type of fight.
Why?
His
That's
bitch
too much
ass hasn't
money?
fought anybody really. Well, we're not gonna talk about Askren. We're not gonna talk. Like, I'm not even gonna spend that much time on this. We're not talking about. This is Askren, a wrestler.
Mhm.
Willie, washed up. Fucking, we've already seen him going
Dang.
downhill. He fought
We love
him.
you, chosen one.
Nate Robinson. Like, we don't want to see this. If you want to be a good boxer, fight boxers. That's it. Like, end of the deal. That's the end of the story. Like, I don't understand why we're
I
even
feel
giving
like,
this attention anymore.
but here's the thing though. Fucking, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to see no one fight the fucking Logan brothers no more because I was about to say, fucking Mayweather. I mean, fucking McGregor put up a good fight against Mayweather. So I was gonna say he's a pretty good boxer, but then I think it's Logan Paul that already boxed Mayweather, and that shit went to a draw. So yeah.
But we already know that shit was fucking most
so-
likely. What we're saying, staged is not staged as in like a big conspiracy, but for God's sake, it was an exhibition with no winner. What does that
Yeah.
mean then?
So I'm pretty sure all of these fights are just gonna go to a draw.
Yeah, and if they ever say, "Oh, McGregor and fucking Paul for an exhibition fight," I'm not watching that bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway, Paul just doesn't deserve any of that shit. He's a fucking bitch. If we were ever in the stands, that fool say, "Hey, come up here on stage," like, I'll look at you like, "Did this one really just ask me what I think he just asked me?" And then that's it. You're already gonna hear about me fucking going on stage and just lighting that fool up. 3-piece and a soda, fucking standing guillotine. I don't give a fuck. He's not even that tall. What, 6 feet, 6'2", something like 3 inches taller than me. So what? Who fucking cares?
Is that for on the on-site list?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get arrested either, but look, this is my thing. There was a video. Did you send it to me? Or I think I may have seen this on my own, or you may have sent it to me. Logan Paul grabbed the mic on some stage. He started telling some fool to come up stage. Like, "Oh, I'm a bitch. Come up stage." I'm like, bro, that's the green light for me. If anybody I don't like is ever on stage, he says, "Hey, come up here," then and he's pointing at me, bro. That's easy. At that point, I'm like,
15
why am I
minutes of
even
fame
like,
or what?
huh?
15 minutes of fame right there.
15 minutes? Nah, it's not
Or
even
50
15
seconds,
minutes, bro.
whatever the fuck they call it.
3 seconds of fame because that's all it's going to take for me to drop him right then and there on the spot.
Yeah.
3 seconds, that's all I need. Get me there for 3 seconds, that's all I need. Yeah, I mean, look, this is how I feel. I know we're deviating way off UFC right now, but we're already on it. This is how I feel about Drake too. A lot of these bitches get wet over Drake, and then they get wet over him because he's big and buff. I don't know if you've seen what he looks like shirtless, bro. To me, I'm like, dude, if this is what he's been doing for 10 years with all that money, this is fucking sad. He is not fucking big and buff like that. He is not shredded. He's not anything. If fucking Jeff Lee, or what's his name? Jeff whatever.
Bezos?
Huh?
Jeff Bezos?
No, not Jeff Bezos. Fuck Jeff Bezos. Fuck that plantation. No.
That fool got ripped. He's more ripped than Drake.
Okay, so that's another one. How's that fool more ripped? Drake's been working out for 10 years now. That's the best this fool can look right now. And what about that guy from Athlete Next? Like, just watch a few of his videos.
Jeff Cavalier.
Jeff Cavalier. There we go.
Shout out to Jeff Cavalier.
Shout out to Athlete
God
X. But that's my
himself.
point. Like, don't you feel like with your work ethic and your determination to being fit and like wanting to do what you do to take care of your body, don't you feel like if you had Drake's resources, you would look way better than what he does right now?
I don't know, because if I had Drake's resources, I'd also be eating like 12 burritos in one sitting. and
Really?
shit. Yeah.
Oh hell no, bro! I'll be having. No, if I had Drake's resources, I would. Taco Bell wouldn't exist, or I'll have a healthy. I would have opened up my own healthy Taco Bell at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I have, like, I don't understand how fucking DJ Khaled has fucking Chef D at his house cooking healthy food, and that fool still be
Exactly,
like
that fool gained weight.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
anything.
for real. But how do you have a professional chef cooking healthy food for you and you're still fat?
Exactly. How'd you get fatter? It had the opposite
That's
effect.
true. That's true.
That's
I
what I'm
have that.
saying. Like with his resources, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's besides the point. Back to UFC.
It's probably the coke and all the drugs and shit. Cause that's pretty.
That's
much
true.
what
We're
it
probably not
is.
even considering all the fucking shit that he's probably doing on the side behind
Yeah.
the scenes. But back to UFC. Yeah, Moreno fucking lost, unfortunately. I do believe they're gonna run that fourth fight back. Then we get to the main card, which is Ngannou and Gane, and it was an interesting fight. just because you kind of saw where it was starting to go. And I think this is the quick take is I think if they kept standing up, I think Gane would have won by decision. I think Gane would have won by decision because every time Ngannou's trying to land those punches, he's not tagging him. He's missing. I don't
Yeah.
and Gane's disengaging nicely to the point where those punches don't mean shit, and he's still able to tap him, touch him, and kick him, and he was tagging him still. They weren't knockout hits. They were not meant to be knockout hits. He was trying to piece away at Ngannou, which was slowly starting to work, and then Ngannou turned into fucking Nurmagomedov and fucking just started wrestling this fool, and then that was it. It just turned into a grappling match for fucking 24 minutes.
Who won that fight? I know that there was a Nurmagomedov that fought.
I don't know.
in
I
this
don't know.
card.
Did he? I don't even know.
Yeah, I have. We have the fucking results right here on the screen for people watching us. That for one. That for one by submission in 47 seconds. Fucking.
Oh yeah,
holy shit.
guillotine. Of course he did.
Yeah, right. Of course he did.
Why the fuck wouldn't he win by a submission at that point? If you're from Russia, your only goal is to win by submission. You can't win by decision. You can't win by knockout. You have to win by submission. That's probably somewhere in the fucking birth certificate and shit. That they have to do MMA at some point in their life. They have to do wrestling ensemble, and they have to win by submissions. They have to be wrestlers, and that's it.
You know, I sent you this fucking thing about, or you sent it to me actually. This thing about either Ngannou in his prime or DC in his prime.
Oh
You
yeah.
picked Ngannou. I picked DC specifically for what we saw today from Ngannou. Is that his wrestling isn't really the greatest? You know, I was watching him, and I just thought like, you know, I feel like I could fucking jiu-jitsu that fool. You know, obviously that was fucking 260 or whatever the fuck, jacked.
That's what I was gonna
But
say.
but I mean, the only guy to have really beat Ngannou convincingly was Miocic. And
Mhm.
fucking DC worked Miocic. So I just feel like
But
DC
do you feel
would
like
do exactly what Miocic did, but even better in the first time that they fought, where he managed to out wrestle him and avoid that one punch knockout, which is what Ngannou's game is about.
I see the logic, but I feel like because now it's starting to look like Ngannou's games are starting, his skill set starting to expand a little bit now. Whether he continues in the UFC or not with all the drama that's going on, who fucking knows at this point? Maybe it's the
Yeah.
last time we'll ever see fucking Francis Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, poor guy. He's over here, fucking Ngannou. He's over here wanting to get a bigger pay and shit.
Yeah.
But this fucking main event was a fucking food
Exactly.
fest
This
and
is going to
shit.
be used against him again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to defend it when shit like this kind of happens. And this is the thing, too. These guys aren't stupid. They know how to fight. So,
Yeah.
if this guy can hit to the equivalent of a smart car going 93 miles an hour, why the fuck would anyone just stand in the pocket with him and just trade blows? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I don't think Gane wants to live with fucking brain damage and shit.
Yeah.
So, like,
I mean, it's
salute to
expected. Just like
Yeah.
how when Holly Holm won the fucking women's world title.
Exactly.
Was it Kat Zingano? I think it was Kat Zingano that just fucking wrestled her to the ground, and that's basically how she won the world title from her.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that it was kind of a letdown of a fight because I did expect a striking
Mia
battle.
Tate, my bad. Mia Tate, not Kat Zingano.
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah. Mia Tate, yeah.
Mia Tate.
Misha Tate, right?
Misha Tate.
Misha Tate.
Something like that.
Whatever the fuck, we don't care.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, no, like with Gane being the more technical fighter, it was showing that he knew how to strike Ngannou without setting himself up for failure. Salute to fucking Stipe for getting in there and trying to trade blows with him, but you already saw it coming when he wasn't leaving within range. Like, oh, that knockout's fucking coming at this fucking point, you know? So with Gane in, out, working around the fucking ring, it's like, oh, he's just going to piece him up. He's going to chip, and then if he wins the decision like that, he does. That's what I was expecting. The minute I saw the knee pads on Ngannou, I was like, no fucking way. No fucking way.
That fool looked like fucking Kurt Angle or something ready to do a
Right?
somersault out
That's
that
what everyone
bitch.
was saying. Fucking had the John Cena knee pads
Hell
on.
yeah, bro.
That fool took it to the WWE. That fool wrestled. That fool looked decent in the wrestling, but then again, we don't know if Gane's ground game is even that good to begin with.
I only got one really bad critique of Francis Ngannou tonight.
What, that he couldn't do shit on the ground?
And not even that. And that one critique is that fool walked out to God's Plan by Drake.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where
Worst
it all-
choice that he could have.
That's where it all fell apart, really. After that, it was just a train going downhill.
You think so?
Yeah, pretty much.
I
That
can
set
see
him up
that.
for failure.
I can see that.
He set himself up for failure.
Yeah. I think once he saw that he wasn't able to just fucking one punch knock out Gon, and he saw that Gon knew what he was doing, I think that's when he said, "Oh fuck it, we're gonna take this shit to the ground." Like I think it was a plan B for him. I think he went in. Let me see if I can get it within range. Oh shit, I can't. He moves around too much for like our height, our stature, our size. He moves really light on his feet. So I think he said once he was in karate stance and all that shit, he's like, oh fuck
Yeah.
this, like let's
Yeah,
just try to take it.
I'm happy for Ngannou. I'm happy he won. I'm just not happy in the way that he won, and definitely looks bad that being his first heavyweight title defense and winning it the way he did.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next fight he steps it up and he gets paid more, because this shit's definitely gonna get used against him. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it to say about that, really, because they were just rumbling in the ground and shit.
They
shit.
were. Fucking, I almost thought Gon had him because he
Oh,
kind of had a
the
heel
fucking,
hook going.
yeah. I honestly thought he was fucked, but Ngannou was just fucking
He just
stared
rolled
at
out
him
of
like
it.
nothing was going on
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, I was like,
He
damn,
was
like
just
this is
sitting
it.
there.
This is as bad as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
But no, I mean there was a couple moments where it looked like it could have been kind of tossed up to either person on the ground, but that's because they both look kind of a little sloppy. They weren't that refined on the ground.
Yeah.
These guys aren't really ground artists; they're stand-up artists. So, I mean, look, salutes. Like I said, like cool that Ngannou won like that. Cool thing he was able to be the better heavyweight. But I think it's safe to say most people that are fans were pretty let down by how this fucking fight went.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think anybody. I mean, I'm not against wrestling and ground games in fucking UFC because Oliveira is one of his. I've always liked Oliveira. I didn't think he can ever be a champ, to be honest, but I've always liked him since like I first started watching UFC. I always thought like, oh, this guy's good. He's fucking submitting people left and right, you know. Like that's submission work done beautifully. But like when these guys are just tugging, wrestling, like heel hooks in, kind of not in. These guys are just rolling, breathing, like weighing down on each other. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the fuck am I seeing this for?
Yeah, fuck all you fools who were there, who were booing during the fucking fight. All you
Yeah.
fools would get fucking knocked out by either one of those fools in there.
Yeah, but we are saying we understand because we do get that the fight wasn't that exciting.
Yeah.
But but if these guys were really good on the ground too, it probably would have been more exciting. It still would have been exciting because we at least would have seen them trading positions, probably ground and pound and fucking trying to submit each other. But these guys look gassed the fuck out. They looked really tired.
Yeah.
They looked like they did. They both looked like they knew that if they, Gon looked like he knew if he stood in the pocket too long with him, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out. And then Ngannou knew if he wasn't careful, he could probably get knocked out because Gon's just a better. He is a better technical striker.
This was like the second bad fight that fucking
Ngannou's had.
Ngannou has. He had the first fight with Derek Lewis. That was a fucking sleeper.
Which is interesting because we saw how Gon pieced up Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And it showed that, yeah, he can beat these heavy hitters, but.
Yeah, and Derek Lewis fucking won that fight against Ngannou. The first fight.
First one, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But to prime DC and prime Ngannou, I think, well, if this is Ngannou now where we're going to start seeing wrestling incorporated, I personally don't think. I know, I get it. DC's a wrestling champ. He's an Olympic gold medalist like Kurt Angle. He's off the perk. Whatever. I get it. But are we forgetting that Ngannou's stupidly massive big, stupid massive strong? And I feel like, bro, if he's picking up this 6'4", really fit guy, 247-pounder, and just slamming him into the ground and kind of just laying on him, do we honestly think DC's going to fucking just outdo that? I don't think he can. And even if you want to say, oh, well, he was able to do Miocic, okay, let's go down to light heavyweight. He was struggling to fucking bring down Jones. Mm-hmm. And Jones isn't that strong. Jones is strong as a wrestler, but he's not big and fucking that dense and that huge like fucking Ngannou. I'm just saying, look, if at their lightest he couldn't even do that to Jones, who's like way fucking skinnier and shit, way lankier, I personally don't see how he's just going to ragdoll Ngannou that easily. I think he's going to have to really work for that.
No, definitely, but I think he'll get the job done. I think it'd be like Miocic and DC in their first fight. That it was really like a grueling fight, but he ended up coming on top.
Damn it, I don't know. I think if we're considering wrestling Francis now as part of Prime Francis, I don't know if DC can get that job done because what happens when they're standing toe to toe at that? What happens when they're both standing? I'm pretty sure he's gonna get pieced up by Ngannou. Whether he gets knocked out or not, I don't know. But I mean,
that'd be interesting to see. I think DC is definitely one of the greatest of all times, not just standing, but more specifically in ground.
That's
and we see that Ngannou's weakness is in the ground game, and we saw that today when he struggled in the ground. So I think that's his weak point, and that's DC's strongest suit. So I think that just spells a recipe for disaster for Ngannou.
hmm. I can okay. I can see that. I just don't. Okay, my thing is I just
DC's
don't think DC's gonna have it that easy.
DC. I don't think he's gonna have it
Like
easy.
at
I'm not.
all.
I'm not saying this a fucking 1 round knockout and shit.
No, no, no,
They
not
might
even
go
one
all
round
five,
knockout. I
but
don't even think he's gonna be able to just ragdoll him that easily at all.
I think it's gonna go the way that Ngannou Miocic one went down. That Miocic had to take a few punches and he had that black eye, but he still wrestled Ngannou down to the ground, and that's how he ended up winning.
And then when we see them face off at round two again, fucking Ngannou suddenly had defense.
But Ngannou fucking Miocic decided to stand up with him more in the second fight, and
But
that's how he got knocked out.
but there was at least two instances where Miocic tried to take him down. He couldn't even fucking get him all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like we saw a different Miocic in fucking the second fight.
So that
Like,
wasn't prime Miocic.
well, I mean, you could arguably say no because he lost the world title at that point.
That's an interesting thing. When do we just say that they're up to their prime until they lose?
Yeah, like the fight. Okay, because if we're counting the title defense right now as Prime Ngannou, that looks real bad. In my opinion, Prime Ngannou is when he won the world title from Miocic. Right now, that was gonna step it up. So right, I don't know if that this shit's
Do you
prime
think
or
if
not.
this is Miocic number 3, do you think we would have saw wrestling still? I think we still would have saw some wrestling.
Yeah, definitely more. Miocic would have avoided setting up because that's how he lost the second
Exactly.
fight.
So I think we would have saw ground game, but I think see this is I personally do like Gane more than Francis, but my thing is if this was Francis versus Miocic instead of Gane, I think we still would have saw Francis wrestle. I think he's genuinely trying to expand his fucking.
No, for sure, because he knows that everyone knows
He
that's
can
his
always stand up.
weakness.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. He's trying to play chess in his head. He's like, oh, let me start working on my ground game
Yeah,
because
for
people are gonna
sure.
figure out they can't just stand with me.
But I mean, he's been fighting for like what 6 years in general, let alone mixed martial arts. He's so mixed martial like for him to learn a ground game like that for these guys that are fucking black belts that have been black belts for years already, and this was probably like a purple belt at most. Like I just find that shit hard. Like yeah, that was a human specimen, and that fool uses that to his advantage. But there's shit like jujitsu that fucking is based on around the fool being substantially bigger than you.
I think I need to see Francis do one
We need
more.
to see this fucking fight. Too bad DC's already retired.
I don't think DC will win. I
I
think
really wanna
DC's
see
gonna
that
fight
fight.
so hard for that grapple. I think he's gonna end up getting caught.
That would be the fucking money fight for sure. Too bad DC's not gonna do it.
No, but if we're talking about them in their prime, I get the grappling. I don't think it will end in grapple though. I think they're somehow gonna keep. Not that the ref's gonna keep it standing. I think Francis is just gonna make it too hard for him, and then he's just gonna end up getting caught at a minute at some point. Because I'm not saying DC can't stand up. He can, but we saw that he can get pieced up. He can get tagged up, and
Yeah.
now add that to some with a lot of power behind it. I don't think DC's gonna make it that far. I personally don't think he would. But what the fuck do I know? I'm not a UFC analyst. We're just two fools shooting the shit. But obviously, Twitter Finger Jones fucking decided to start talking shit. And this guy talks too much for someone that has not fucking fought in how many months? How many years now? 2 years? Two and a half?
Honestly, don't know, but they should have this fucking free for all in the heavyweight division. Just drop everyone in the fucking octagon and just have an
Fucking-
elimination chamber, pretty much.
Fucking battle royale.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
my God.
that's the way I see to settle this shit. You don't have. That's the way to eliminate boring fights, and everyone gets a big purse. Cause who's not gonna want to watch that shit?
Well, okay. If you want to talk about big purse, I think. Well, this is just a side thing that I want to talk shit about. I love The Rock, but I do not give a fuck that his shoes part of the footwear for the UFC.
Yeah.
This shit just makes me more frustrated because it's like, why the fuck are you going through hell and back to fucking give them a Venom deal, give them a fucking Under Armour shoe deal, when these motherfuckers can probably already have the best endorsement deals possible for the best products we'll probably see for per fighter, And
I
then
mean,
we're seeing this shit instead.
I mean, it depends. Like, if you're fucking McGregor, you obviously don't care if the UFC has a fucking shoe deal or any deal in general. Yeah, maybe because you're gonna have your own deal. But if
It's
you're like this fucking guy in a prelim, you're fucking happy to take anything they give you. You're fucking happy to take the rock shoes.
really.
You're gonna walk out in your fucking Vans like you had for 2 years already. You know, like I'm sure. Like I would have rather had them have the option to have their own sponsors. But if you're like one of the up and coming fighters, like I'm sure the UFC sponsorships help a lot.
I will still say no, just because I'd rather wear this fool merch to my fucking walkout instead of a fucking Under Armour shit. To be honest, that's just me though. But that's
Fools
because I
would be
have a
walking around
goal.
out in like in pro clubs and shit.
Why not? That's the most gangster shit they can do. But yeah, just to end it on the UFC fight. I mean, ended in decision for Ngannou. You know, salute to Ngannou, salute to Gane. You know, they were two guys that were trying to play chess, not checkers. All these fans screaming and booing because they just want to see dudes fucking try to give each other CTE and shit. Um, these guys know what they're doing. They know how they were trying to win, and unfortunately, it turned into a wrestling match. I wasn't that happy. I wanted to see the strikers go at it, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I hope for the next fight. I hope they don't give Jones. I hope they do not give Jones a fucking championship fight. For a guy that's been inactive for that long, he needs to fucking at least beat two guys at least. At
Yeah.
least beat two heavyweights right now. And fuck, if you want to give him the two top heavyweights, let's see him beat those two top heavyweights and then give him a title fight if he wants.
Yeah, I think Lewis is probably a good fight to give him to come into it. He fights Lewis, and then after that, he fights whether it's Miocic or fucking Gane, and then he can
Yeah.
fight Ngannou. That's how I see it.
Exactly. That's exactly how I see it too. He needs to either fight between the three. Whoever doesn't have the belt by then, he needs to either fight Lewis, Gane, or Miocic. He needs to beat at least two out of those three. If they're still within the top five,
Yeah.
he needs to beat at least those guys personally, and then he should get a championship. But if he's barely gonna come in at heavyweight and you give him the shot right away,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
fuck
want
that.
to. I hope Ngannou will be like, "Fuck you! I'm not giving you this championship fight."
I wouldn't doubt it if they do that though, because fucking Dana White has a fucking hard on for John Jones.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
thought he has like issues with him.
Nah, I don't know. He might have issues with him, but he has a hard on for money. Correction.
That's
He
true.
does not have a hard on for John Jones. He has a hard on for money, and John Jones versus Ngannou, whether we like it or not, that shit has money written all over it. So
I'm still not paying $75 for that.
I'm not
fucking
paying
pay-per-view.
$75 for that shit either, but some motherfuckers are.
All those motherfuckers that are legally streaming it for us, you guys are the goats. But but yeah, I think Jones needs to earn his. I know it's the champions decision too, but I would hope Ngannou gives him the middle finger, says "fuck you, earn that shit," beat the next two top guys, and then I'll give you this. I'll give you the match. But like McGregor, dude, McGregor's been 1-5 in the lightweight, and he's gonna get the shot with Oliveira. I think that's fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
I know that it's Oliveira's choice if he wants that fucking fight, but I feel like he shouldn't. I feel like he shouldn't unless he beats. I think the only time Oliveira should give McGregor that championship fight is if he beats Islam. If assuming Islam beats Benil Darush, and assuming he beats Gaethje. If he can beat the winner of the Benil and Islam fight and beats Gaethje, then fuck it, just fight McGregor, because at that point in the lightweight division, who the fuck do we honestly care about? I mean, like fucking Chandler, for what? We already fucking saw him win against fucking. I mean, we already saw him lose against Oliveira. Why the fuck do I care to see a second one, a rematch?
Yeah.
But I think if he wants to fight Connor, I think he should at least wait until he defends it against Gaethje and fucking Islam. And if he wins, fuck it. Then Connor wants it. He's active now. Fuck it, give it to him. But yeah, those are the times where I'm like, I'm really iffy on like giving random guys, if they haven't proven themselves in the division. That's when I feel like maybe giving those guys the fucking the championship shot isn't like the best for the company. Personally.
I just want to take this moment and use UFC 270 as something to plug pro wrestling as, because in pro wrestling you won't get this fucking main event where there's two fools fucking struggling, rolling around, trying to get on top of each other.
No.
So this is advantage of pro wrestling. Like, sure, it's scripted and predetermined. But however, they're gonna put on a fucking banger.
Yeah, they're gonna put on a show.
You're not gonna have a snooze fest.
But there's
like this shit.
there's different stakes
Yeah,
at
for
it.
sure.
So I think the comparison's a little it's a stretch.
I mean that in both cases, someone can die at any moment, easily.
Okay, technically yes, someone can die,
Yeah. So I
but
don't know how the stakes can get any higher than that.
but
Sure, some fool's gonna get knocked out, but that doesn't mean that like it's not gonna happen in either or.
yeah, but it's like when we see John Cena throw a punch, we know that he's not gonna fucking actually try to connect that punch. We know he's selling selling the punch, you know.
Yeah.
But
But there's also examples like Jeff Hardy fucking jumping off of like a whatever, like
yeah, but
16-foot ladder and shit.
you got to create a different category for those guys jumping off fucking 30-foot ladders and shit. But I mean, well, just to leave it off on the UFC thing, Ngannou won by decision. Moreno lost to Figueroa. Is that how you say his name? I still don't know.
Point. Yeah. Ngannou still a heavyweight champion. Good. Mexican lost. Bad.
Bad, bad for all my nationalists out there.
Nurmagomedov won, not surprisingly.
And I mean, besides those two fights, I don't really think a lot of people care for the rest of the card, and that's not to be disrespectful. You just don't see hype around all these other fighters, and they're all in the to be. This is the thing I also have with any professional sports, and I hate when people do this. It's you guys fail to understand these guys are beating out 100 other people to get into these businesses. So if you feel like, oh, the fucking first prelim fight was whack as fuck, blah blah, I was like, dude, he could probably beat the shit out of everyone in the fucking city
Yeah.
if they got into a fight. Like you guys are failing to understand that still.
Yeah, he's still a sick as food. Even
Exactly.
Though he's on the prelim.
But like you're talking about the cream of the crop now, and
Yeah.
of all these fighters, you know. So when people say, "Oh, these two are boring fights," like you are, Ngannou and Gane should have been a striking battle. It wasn't, but you still fail to like. There's still the thing to understand of these two guys are probably the top 10 baddest men on the fucking planet. Like, let's really fathom that for a second. On the fucking planet, they're better and most. They're arguably probably the best guys in their own countries, and then you have those countries fighting against, sending their best guys to fight against each other. It's like, what else do you expect? It sounds like a Champions League of fucking fighters, you know? That's like the best of the best, I guess, if you
Yeah.
want to say that. But yeah, I mean, fuck, I really wish Gon had that fucking heel lock, the leg lock, whatever the fuck he tried going. I couldn't even tell at that point. I generally couldn't see what he was doing. I just started seeing them roll around and shit. I really wish he had that. Shit would have been an interesting. That shit would have made the fight a little better because we would have had a win by submission. But you know,
I would have been sad though just seeing Ngannou lose the fucking world title. Especially hearing the fucking podcast, the JRE podcast with him on that shit.
true. But this is why I wish that he can go into boxing more, though. This is why I wish that I hope he doesn't
You
care
know
anymore.
what? I wish he would have lost because then he would have been free from his contract.
Exactly,
And
that's
then he
why
would've
I would-
fought fucking
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Exactly. That's why I was hoping
Hell
Gon would win
yeah,
too,
what a
because
fucking
that would be
fight.
another reason why
Hell
everyone
yeah.
still kind of wins. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's saying that Ngannou's busting a CM Punk right now. He's gonna fucking leave with the belt because his
should.
contract is up.
He should take this shit to Bellator.
Yeah, fuck. It. But I would rather see Ngannou as a boxer. I know that's what he wanted to do from the get go.
Yeah.
We already saw he's phenomenal striking, and will he beat Tyson? Probably
Damn,
not.
I don't know.
I
Probably
don't think
not.
he would. I don't think he would.
Probably not, but I'd pay to see it.
That might be something I'll be willing to pay to see
Yeah.
because we know that at least if Deontay can tag Fury and drop him at least 2 times, Ngannou might have that power enough to knock him
Oh,
out,
yeah,
and he
for
won't
sure.
get back up. He won't
Yeah.
bust his Undertaker and fucking set back up, you know, at the 8 count and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't cool. I don't know. I just rather see Ngannou in boxing. I think he has enough of a name where he can draw a lot of people now to watch him box. Especially when you see all the crazy metrics for his punches, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I want to see this dude do nothing but punch. You know, even like a fucking Ngannou versus Deontay fight, that shit would be fucking crazy.
That'd be cool.
2 sluggers just going at it like that.
Yeah.
And then you have Tyson, who's a more technical guy, and let's say fucking Ngannou won against Deontay. Shit, hell yeah! Now more people are even gonna want to see that.
Shit, and fucking Tyson Fury was teasing the fucking fight against Ngannou too on Twitter. That fool was talking shit. They were both exchanging some words.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I hope it happens. I'm not surprised if later on this week or later on this month we find out, oh, Ngannou doesn't re-sign with the UFC, is now a free combat sports agent or whatever. And who knows? Maybe we'll see him in WBC.
Yeah, because Francis coming off of this world title defense, who does he fight next? The only person I see him fighting next that's not John Jones is Derek Lewis, and
Yo, you don't think Miocic?
I don't think so. I don't think they gave him the rematch. They should give him the rematch, but I don't see that happening.
Really?
Yeah. So
What
they
the
either give
fuck?
it to John Jones if he fucking decides to lay off the coke and stop beating his wife, they'll
He
give it
decides
to
to stop competing in the women's division.
so they'll give it to him.
Oh god.
And if not, they'll give it to Derek Lewis. But we saw how the first fight went with Derek Lewis, and you could say that Derek Lewis deserves it because he won the first fight. But the first fight was trash, and we just saw this fight that was trash.
Exactly.
So do you really want to risk having two back-to-back
trash
trash fights that are real title fights?
Exactly.
So I don't know where this should go.
I just think you have to give it to Miocic again. Look, this is what you do. Give it to Miocic. Let him run it for the third time. If Ngannou actually wins in a not boring fashion, fucking beautiful. If Miocic wins in a not beautiful fashion, or if Miocic just wins, I mean, cool, I guess. I would rather see Ngannou win in a fashionable victory. TKO knockout again. Fuck a submission if he's going to become the fucking wrestler now. If he somehow gets a submission on Miocic, that'll be fucking beautiful. I would take that. And then I want to see that shit with Jones then at that point. The rest of the division or the Gane gets a rematch, I don't know. But I would rather see them fight off, and whoever wins could fight Gane, could fight Lewis or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But the heavyweight thing's kind of like now it's a mess right now, especially with how
It
this
is a
thing
mess.
ended. It's like,
Yeah, for sure.
who kind of like. That's the problem with certain divisions. It's like if your best fighters are only in the top 3 to
Just
4,
throw Brock Lesnar in there. Fuck it.
just let Brock Lesnar come. If he wants to fucking fight, just let him fight.
Put Bobby Lashley in there too. Bobby Lashley did MMA at one point. Just
He
throw him
did.
all in there.
I think he won by decision in that
Put
fight.
Batista in there. Batista has like 2 fucking jiu-jitsu matches under his belt. Put them
Yeah.
all in there.
Put them all in. Just let celebrities start crossing over and fucking start doing some UFC fights. Fuck it, who cares at that point? But anyway, but yeah, but to Jones, I don't know. I don't think I don't think he deserves a chance at the belt right now.
Yeah,
He hasn't done shit. And he has yet to fucking beat his addictions. He has yet to fucking defeat any heavyweights at that point.
The only thing that was beating his wife, and that's just not gonna get him anywhere.
Exactly, it's
besides
not on the
nice
record.
business
It's just an
sell.
exhibition fight. Like, it's a disadvantaged exhibition fight, and I don't see why. You know, I just don't see him deserving a title shot. I don't care what he's done for the light heavyweight. I don't care about any of that shit. It doesn't fucking matter. Who fucking cares? He hasn't done shit, and he has yet to fight anyone that is a fucking fighter at least. You know, he's like I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't give a fuck if it's John Jones. He's a crazy fighter to watch, but he just doesn't deserve the shot, you know? And the same thing I said about McGregor. They do not deserve the shot.
Yeah.
They have not paid their dues for it. I don't give a fuck if they're bringing money in for the company. If you are not that good of a fighter, you don't need to be fighting then. If you're that good of a name, just go to the fucking WWE then at that point. They need that fucking help right now. I would rather see McGregor fucking wrestle somebody than fucking see him fight in the UFC, to be honest. You kidding me? Would you know? You can't tell me he won't create a lot of fucking buzz at that point. Well, should he do it? No, he should not fucking do
He
it.
should not do it.
But I can see him fucking probably earning more money doing that shit. Shit, he should just go into boxing and just do nothing but big name money fights.
Who would you want to see him wrestle in WWE?
I don't know who's small enough like him.
There's a food named Ricochet, but I feel like that's a recipe for disaster because that was a high flyer.
Yeah.
That's
We
just
have.
tough.
When's the last time you saw fucking McGregor fighting karate stance, balance and shit?
Do you remember when Mayweather fought Big Show at WrestleMania
Yeah,
24?
I thought that shit was stupid. That's when I knew it was fake because I knew Big Show should have just killed him at that point.
That hit him with the brass knuckles. That's all he won. Mayweather knocked out Big Show with the brass knuckles.
See, even in WWE, he couldn't take an L. That's fucking ridiculous. He could have at least had the fucking L in wrestling. He still
come
couldn't even get
on.
the L.
Nah, there was no way they're gonna bring that fool in just to lose.
That's fucking horseshit. This is why this is my dilemma with fucking things that are scripted to a sense like that. Is that you're not interesting then if you don't lose also. Like if you're, especially when you're doing something like that.
Well, what about the Undertaker? That fool went like 27-0.
But he loses regular matches outside of that.
That's true.
That's what balances it out. Is like he can win and he can also lose. His WrestleMania undefeated streak is like, fuck, man, that's fucking crazy. On the biggest stage of them all, he's always winning. And then on this fucking regular exhibition match, he gets his ass handed to him. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Do you remember where you were when that fool lost the streak?
Yeah, I
Were
was
you
probably fucking heated
You
somewhere.
were still keeping up with wrestling.
What year
at that
did he
point?
lose it in?
2014, WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, I was probably heated because I couldn't get a job at the time and that fool lost. How old was I? 18, 19, something like that? Yeah, I was fucking heated. I thought that shit was horse shit.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was like 17 at the
And
time.
then he lost it to Brock Lesnar of all
To
fucking
Brock
people.
Lesnar. Yeah, I was
Of
mad.
all fucking people, he could have lost it. And Brock Lesnar had just came back, didn't he?
Yeah, I was watching it. I was watching it with all my homies, and all my homies now were mad. Like it was just quiet at my house. Like that shit.
Yeah, I would be
No one
fucking
knew what to
quiet too.
say.
You'll fucking hear me in the bathroom screaming and shit. You'll think that this was just taking a massive shit. It's like, no, like this was fucking mad. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think John Jones deserves it. I don't think McGregor deserves it. I think McGregor should be a boxer. He should not fight Jake Paul though. Fuck the Paul brothers again
Yeah.
for the 20th time I fucking said it. Fuck those bitch ass fools. McGregor should never do the fight. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Just do big money fights. Like just do big, or if you want to do fights like that, do exhibition fights where the losses don't count. Just do money fights at that point. Um, I don't think we'll ever see McGregor return back to what he used to be. This karate stance, fucking counter puncher, counter striker, whatever. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Yeah,
I think that ship has sailed already.
Yeah, I think Prime McGregor is already. We already saw it, and it's already gone.
Yeah, it's already gone. So now we're seeing boxing McGregor, I feel like,
Mhm.
and just give this fool the money fights, you know?
Yeah.
Let this fool move up to welterweight. Let him fight fucking Nate Diaz if he wants. Let him fucking fight Masvidal. I'll fucking see that shit. Let him fight fucking Usman. I don't give a fuck. Let him fucking just strike with somebody.
Damn, that'd be crazy to see him fight Usman.
It would. I don't think he'll win at all.
I think Usman would win.
I think Usman would win.
Yeah.
And I also think that I just think it'll be an interesting slugfest. I will be heated if they fought and fucking Usman tries to wrestle him. Because I'll personally be mad because, like, dude, why? Why we. All this shit that they've talked on fucking Twitter and all this stuff, and then you want to wrestle him? Like, bro, you had 3 inches and fucking 20 extra pounds of muscle on the fucking dude. Or muscle mass on him. Like, why the fuck are you trying to wrestle him? Fucking strike with him, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're regarded as one of these pound for pound fighters and pound for pound striker and what the fuck not just fucking strike with McGregor at that point. Like he's not even karate stance anymore. Like what the fuck do you have to lose at that point?
Mhm.
You know? Or interesting things like fucking Oliveira. He's willing to move up to welterweight to fight Usman. He's willing to go down to fight Volkanovski. That's what I fucking want to see. I want to see a dude that wants to fight the best.
Yeah.
But aside from that, that's about it for UFC 270. I know there's some boxing fights today. I didn't watch them. Did you watch them?
I didn't, but before we move on, let's take a quick fucking piss break.
Oh, bet.
Yeah. We're fucking back.
You want to just pound this one then?
Yeah, I'm down to pound this one.
Alright,
Fuck
there
it.
you go.
Cheers, dog. I don't feel like I drink my beers fast, but usually I finish mine before yours.
Because I'm too busy talking shit.
Speaking of talking shit, today's sports fights, bro, was a really bad day for myself. I'm a fucking Manchester City fan.
Mhm.
Today they played at 8 in the morning against
Were
Southampton.
you up for that fight?
I
I mean,
was
up for that?
I was up for that match, of course.
So what time did you wake up today?
I woke up like at 7, around there. Fucking took a hit of the pen. I salute the fucking flag, said my prayers, took my vitamins, and I fucking put the game on. These fools are in first place. They were like on a 12-game, 13-game winning streak,
Mhm.
and they tied today against Southampton, who's like 13th in the league. So one thing I dislike about Man City and Pep Guardiola in general, their coach, is that whenever they play against a shitty team, he tends to underestimate them, and so these fools ended up having a shit performance. So they play like against top of European teams, top English teams, and they fucking smack them. But then they play like some fucking like local team that plays at the local park and shit.
Plays at the YMCA.
Yeah, and these fools struggle and shit. So
Damn.
I feel like it's because clearly not because that team is better than them, but because these fools over here like these fools fucking suck dick. Like
Mhm.
I can just like slack off or whatever.
Mhm.
So the point is these fools tied 1-1.
And
They're
then
still
those other fools are like playing their heart out. And
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
so,
yeah. So that's the thing about the champion. You know, like everyone always has you as a target and shit. You
Mhm.
know, everyone puts their best effort against you. So that went down today. They're still in first place. However, they had like this like eight point gap against Liverpool. Now it's like at 6 points. So Liverpool and Manchester still have one game left to play against each other. So like that can come down to 3 points eventually. So
Mhm.
you know the title race was getting big at one point, but with this fucking loss, not that with this loss, but with the draw,
Mhm.
it's kind of getting closer if you want to say that. But I still think City are going to come out on top anyways. And then later on at 5 o'clock, fucking Packers 49ers. I was talking so much shit, and I still am. Fuck the fucking 49ers.
Damn.
But
Oh yeah, I saw the 49ers won.
those was one.
Shout out to fucking
Fucking
Groovy Q over there.
shout out to Scuba Q, but fuck you today. Um, but Aaron Rodgers, I love you, bro. This might be the last game we see Aaron Rodgers in a Packers uniform. And I honestly hope so, bro, because that's what deserves better. Every fucking year, it's either some mamadas. I remember one year, the fucking fool couldn't catch a squib kick, and that shit fumbled off of his helmet, and the Seahawks caught it, and that's how they won the fucking game. The other year, fucking this year the special teams can't fucking punt the ball. Two punts got fucking blocked, bro. The fucking special team killed us today. And so every single year is Aaron Rodgers plays his fucking heart out.
So was it
and
just
then
a shit day for you sports wise today?
it was a shit day for me
Like in
sports
terms of a
wise.
spectator.
Yeah,
today?
so the Packers fucking lost. Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry, I love you, bro. You're the fucking goat. Fuck Tom Brady. But yeah, these Aaron Rodgers needs to go to a different franchise where they're gonna build a team around him and not rely on him on everything. That's because that's what I feel. That's the Packers' downfall. They rely on Rodgers to do everything and they don't build a team around him. Versus Tom Brady that gets fucking carried every single fucking time. But but point is, these was fucking lost in the last minute of the game. So that shit sucked ass. And then after that, at 7 o'clock, we had America play Atlas. These was lost 2-0. Another red card. This is the second game in a row where these was get a red card. So America came out the last season and ended up in first place, but they lost in playoffs. So it was an interesting time for them. They're rebuilding, and I hope a lot of us get fired. So those was lost 2-0, and then we went into the UFC, and well, that shit was a sleeper fest. So that shit was whack. And well, I mean, and then the Chicago Blackhawks fucking played today. They went into overtime and they lost 4-3. Fucking Hawks
Aren't they
lost.
fucking like? Don't
The
they have a
Hawks
horrible
fucking
record right now?
the Hawks fucking are sucking mad dick this year. But they still beat the Ducks though. So fuck
So
you
fuck
fools.
Anaheim.
Fuck you fools out there. And so that's pretty much on my sports teams. The Angels didn't play today, but if they would have played, they probably would have lost. So it doesn't really.
That's fucked
so,
up. They didn't play. They already expected disappointment.
good thing they didn't play today. Because
Oh
that
my
would have
God.
been the fucking cherry on top of the shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Sports wise, I don't think the Lakers played today, but
Nah, they've been fucking. They've been full of shit this
so
season.
sports day today. Out of all the teams that I support that played today, none of them won. At least Ngannou won. I'm happy Ngannou won. I was rooting for
Yeah.
him, but the fight was fucking boring. And at least Man City fucking drew and they didn't lost, but everybody else lost. Horrible day.
Damn. European football's a crazy thing.
First world fucking problems and shit.
For real. I just wanted to get into some other things real quick. How do you feel about this beer so far, though?
It's pretty good. It's nice and smooth. The fucking can makes me feel like I'm on the beach, even though it's fucking cold as fuck outside. But yeah, it's nice.
That's good. Made West. Shout out to Made West. You guys should sponsor us. All these goddamn beautiful beers we're trying out. One of these motherfuckers sponsors us. We post them on IG. We tag them and all that shit. And they just like it. Like, you bitch ass motherfuckers. Send a 4-pack at least. It's fucking $17 you're losing at most. Anyway, that's just me ranting. Well, the Steelers lost last Sunday, so I was fucking heated about that. So I was already fucking disappointed since then.
The fucking Packers with Aaron Rodgers specifically as quarterback are 0-4 against the 49ers. And so I know that Aaron Rodgers was a 49er fan growing up. So I'm starting to think that was doing this shit on purpose at this point. So, like
you
that
think this shit's all
so,
fabricated?
yeah. It's like I understand, bro. Like if I had to play against America, I'd probably throw the game too. So I'm pretty sure this was doing this shit on purpose now. So we'll see what that shit happens.
Do you think it'll be on purpose if Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight and fucking Tyson loses? I for sure think this shit staged at that point.
If Tyson loses,
Yeah, fuck yeah. If Iron Mike Tyson,
that fool's like 60 years old.
bro, he's still one of the buffest, meanest looking dudes at 53, 54, whatever fucking age he's at. One of the meanest motherfuckers. Even see him hit the bag, that shit still has a fucking power and speed to it. And you're telling me fucking bitch ass Jake Paul will beat him? This isn't the works, so who even knows if this shit's gonna come to fruition? But if you're telling me bitch ass, pussy ass, little fucking dick having Jake Paul beats Iron Mike Tyson in a boxing match Bro, that's like saying some fucking dumbass YouTuber you fucking don't care about beat Michael Jordan or beat Stephen Curry in a 3-point contest. Come on, bro. You're not gonna look at me and say, "Oh yeah, that shit was legit." You're gonna think, "What the fuck kind of shit is that?" Steph Curry, one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all fucking time, hands down, probably the best
Yeah.
shooter, and he loses to some fucking dumbass YouTuber.
Yeah, he loses to the guys from Dude Perfect easily. You seen those fools? Those fools do some crazy ass straight shots.
But we're talking about a guy that spends his life on that shit and he loses to some dude who just decided to start picking it up recently. If this fight happens and Tyson loses, I'm calling it right away. These shits have to be in the fucking contract at this point.
Well,
I don't care that Mike Tyson's 54, 53, 55. I don't give a fuck. If he's able to get fit, still remain strong, and have that power and speed and stuff, that footwork behind it, and he loses? Nah. Bullshit. Bullshit to the max. Bull, horse, donkey balls, Donkey Kong shit.
Tyson hasn't fought any of the Logan brothers, has he?
Nah. Supposedly, I think he was gonna fight
Logan,
the
right?
older one.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Logan.
Yeah. The bigger one.
I mean,
The
dog.
more famous one.
I mean, fucking Mayweather didn't beat Logan.
But that shit was an
I mean,
exhibition.
I mean, sure, of course he wasn't gonna beat him, because it's all work.
Yeah, it's all work. It's a work.
But I don't think Tyson would fucking. I don't
How
think
would you
Tyson
feel?
would beat Jake.
How would you
low-key.
feel if this would go on the record, and it counts as a loss against Tyson if he lost? How would you honestly feel about him? Do you feel like he sold out?
It'd be.
I
Nah.
personally think he would have sold out.
Nah, Tyson looks like he has a lot of pride. He looks like he's fucking.
No, that's why.
Looks like he'll fucking deck that fool here and brings that shit up to him. He'll be like, "How dare you fucking disrespect me?" And you'll fucking punch him right there, bite his ear too.
Yeah, I hope he fucking does. But that's what I'm saying. If this shit were to happen, and then let's say, because basically what it looks like is that Paul's not gonna lose no matter what. That's what it's fucking just looking like.
I
It's
know,
looking so
right?
fucking well structured to the point where no matter what, he can't lose.
How-
How the fuck did he have a perfect fight against Tommy? Then out of nowhere, Tommy gets hurt. Injuries happen. I get it. But you don't replace him with an actual big name boxer. All these fighters have been calling you out to fight. You don't want to acknowledge any of them, but you want to acknowledge fucking Mike Tyson. That's very strange. Is it because his name's big enough for it? Is it because he has a boxing status with it too? Is it because you already know you're gonna give him so much money that he might let it slide? That's very strange. I don't get it. Maybe you guys know something I don't know. I just don't ever think, personally, I don't ever think that a guy that's just because he's young, just because he's been doing it for a few years, I don't think they can ever beat someone that's done it professionally at a championship level for so long. I just don't think that can ever really happen.
Yeah.
The only way I can see him genuinely beat Mike Tyson in a boxing match is if Mike Tyson was 70 and fat. If Mike Tyson was 70 years old, fat, out of shape, and was still snorting coke, still buying tigers from Vegas, I can see Jake Paul winning. But we're talking about a fit Mike Tyson that if you don't have discipline, you're not shit. Mike Tyson, you're telling me if Jake Paul were to beat him, you really expect me to believe that? Fuck no, I don't. You kidding me? No,
That
I
fool's
don't.
old, Dick.
Huh?
That fool's old, and they're both on steroids.
Let them take fucking steroids then. I don't give a fuck. Bro, you have to. Come on. Come on now. If Mike Tyson loses, you're really not going to think something's afoot?
When his last fight, who did he fight last? He fought fucking
Roy Jones Jr., didn't
Roy
he?
Jones Jr. Yeah, and that foot. I mean,
How did that one end?
that should ended up in a draw. That should look like two fucking.
But he still looked decent.
That should look like two 50-year-olds fighting. That's what that should look like.
But he was also. It was still an exhibition fight that wouldn't count. That wouldn't go on the record.
It wouldn't go on the record. Yeah, it's all exhibition.
But let's say it did go on the record. Do you think we would have saw a
But-
different Mike Tyson?
But no. But I leading up to that fight, I heard all this speculation like, damn, fucking Tyson is fit, and he was fit, and he had that fucking video, and that shit got a bunch of buzz, and it got everyone talking. But when he ended up fighting another fucking guy who was his age, like, yeah, that shit looked like two fucking grown-ass men fighting. With all disrespect to those fools who are fucking legends without a doubt.
Exactly.
But that should just look like two 50-year-olds fighting who at one point were the greatest of all time.
It ended in an unofficial split draw.
Yeah, of course it did.
Why even fight then?
That shit was like a 6-round fight.
this just begs the question too: why the fuck doesn't Paul just fight somebody that's active and young and his age and his size? Why is he
There's no
literally
money
still
in that.
picking? Yes, there is. There would be fucking money in that.
Yeah, but not compared to fighting Mayweather, like how they're fighting.
There would have been money to it if they didn't call it an exhibition fight. The fact they call it an exhibition fight hindered it. Because it meant no loss and no wins will count. So then why the fuck? There's no stakes to it. If you're telling me 50-0 Mayweather had to fight Paul, and you're telling me this goes on his record, you think Mayweather wouldn't fucking work him and win by decision?
Well, how much did Mayweather make from fucking fighting Jake
Oh,
Paul?
fucking probably more than he fucking needed to.
So you're telling me that there's more money from these who's fighting Joe Schmo, an up and coming boxer, than fighting Mayweather?
What do you mean?
Because you're saying that there's money in that shit too, but not the amount of money as there is to fighting Mayweather.
No, they're not, because it's always going to be about name, and you have to understand too. These are a bunch of these are most likely casuals
Yeah.
that are willing to pay. If we're comparing the casuals to the people that actually care about the sport, to the actual fans, we know for a fact most likely it's the casuals that are going to outweigh the fucking fans, because they're just seeing the names, they're not seeing the skill sets behind it.
Exactly, which is why they're fighting fucking Mike Tyson or Mayweather instead of.
Yeah. So my argument is that I don't understand why the fuck this is still getting glory and this is still getting fucking attention when we know, again, I think Mike Tyson should win, and it's not just because he's Mike Tyson. It's because he's still there. He's still there as a fighter. He may not be 100% there, but if he's at least 80 to 85% there, he should naturally win. It only makes sense that he will win. Um, like you're telling me in a shootout, you're telling me in a penalty shootout, if fucking Messi lost to some 19-year-old that fucking doesn't really know shit, just barely started playing soccer a fucking year ago, or maybe not a shootout's a good comparison, because I mean I don't think it's. I might be shooting myself in the foot right here. I don't think it's that hard to win penalty shootouts, just because you have such a big fucking goal.
Damn.
You know,
Hey,
yeah,
you'd
exactly.
be surprised, bro.
I'm pretty sure some people are punching the fucking air right now. But my point with this is that I think still applying what's going on, I still think it makes more sense for Mike Tyson to win. He may not win by knockout. I never said he was going to win by knockout. Or at least I don't think I did. But I will still say I think Mike Tyson should still win. And I think it will be still very apparent that he would win. Would he win by decision? Absolutely. Would he win by knockout? If he catches whatever Paul he's fighting. Does he get the knockout? Probably not right away. It probably won't happen till the later half of the fight if it goes 12 rounds. But I would expect to win by decision. If you're telling me it's 6 rounds and he's fighting Jake Paul, or Jake or Logan, whoever, I think Jake. If he's fighting Jake Paul, I expect Mike Tyson to lose at this point. I expect him to fucking lose. Again, I don't like the fucking guy. I'm not gonna give him credit. Fuck this. I'm not giving him shit. Because he has not fought a fucking fighter. He has not fought a boxer. Everyone's trying to say, we have to give him credit. He boxed for 3 years. Why isn't he fighting a boxer then? Why the fuck is he not fighting a boxer then? 3 years of practice and fucking studying the game. You're telling me you still won't fight a boxer at that point? Bro, personally, I would fucking fight somebody 6 months into studying the sport. I would fight somebody right away.
Quick question: what fight do you think is the biggest profile fight the Paul brothers have had? The fight against Mayweather, right?
I would assume so, because it's
Okay.
fucking Mayweather.
All right, just quick question. Keep going where you.
Okay, no, hold on. I feel like you're setting me up for a question.
Yeah, I am, but keep going.
Okay, well, I don't even know where I'm going with anymore, so what's your question?
So I'm just trying to see how much the fight make that between between Logan Paul and Mayweather. How much do you think it made?
Like, in pay-per-view sales?
Yeah, in general.
Hold on. Let me use a reference, because I also have a MacBook.
Baller as
Jake Paul. Let's look up the Jake Paul. What's that bitch ass fool's name? Tyrone Woodley.
I don't think that sold that much because it was the second fight.
No, but let's just see the numbers. I get it. Everyone's saying it flopped. Sure, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. 65,000.
That's what you're getting for what? For the first fight?
Second fight.
That the fight overall made 65,000?
Supposedly it did.
Really? That seems really small. I feel like they would be touching millions.
Okay, so are you trying to question me on how many pay-per-view buys that Jake Paul. I mean not Jake. What's his name? Logan Paul and Mayweather had.
Yeah.
You feel like 65 is low?
Yeah, I feel like easily they go into the millions.
So what are you telling me that they had 100,000 pay-per-view buys? PPV buy?
100,000
PPV buys?
in pay-per-view buys, they probably made like easily 5 mil.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, bro.
They made 5 mil?
Easily.
No,
Eas-
did they?
Easily.
Did they?
Okay. Easily. I'm just asking you for a fucking. I'm asking you how much you think they made. I'm saying minimum. Minimum. Okay. Obviously, Mayweather.
I would say a mil then. If you're
Mayweather
saying
made
that.
more than Logan Paul, which is the only way Mayweather agreed to the fight. So Mayweather probably got paid like I don't know 100 million, some fucking crazy shit like that, because he's Floyd Money Mayweather.
You're fucking.
But Logan Paul probably made like what, like 20 mil?
Yeah, everyone's saying a million buys.
A million in buys. All right. Anyways,
Wait,
I
where are
don't
you
know.
going with this question?
Okay,
Hold on,
look.
hold on.
Mayweather.
I'm a lawyer, bro. Hit me with the questions.
Mayweather said here. How much do you think they made it? In general, how much do you think Mayweather made from that fight?
Oh, he made from that fight?
Yeah.
I honestly was off the top of my head I was thinking between 25 to 50. I don't think he made 100. That's too much.
25 to 50 mil.
Yeah.
Damn
I'm honestly throwing a ballpark out there because
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. I genuinely have no idea what the fuck that truly could have made. Because apparently there's a big thing now that these motherfuckers are lying about how much they made.
Bro, the fight against like Mayweather, and Conor McGregor made like over 100 million.
Oh, them two? Yeah. But we're talking about Logan Paul and Mayweather.
But it's still Mayweather. It's still one of them.
But you're not fighting Conor. You're fighting Logan.
Okay, but you know all these fucking TikTok.
That's what I'm
millennials and
saying.
shit.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We're having these fucking people that don't know the sport outpaying the ones that do know the sport. Because the ones that know the sport know that this isn't fucking worth anything. This is fucking fugazi. This is just bullshit fights. These are just big money grabs. To
Yeah.
watch Conor and Mayweather fight, you knew that there was something to it because one, it was on the record. Two, you're fighting against an MMA fighter who is known to be a fucking stand-up striker, and he is, and he does. He's a good striker. He gave, I would say he probably gave, oh no, not even probably, 100% without a doubt, he gave Mayweather the biggest fight in terms of celebrity. But then again, how many celebrities he fought? 2 or 3 maybe at most. 2. Logan Paul and him. Mayweather gave him the work. I mean, Mayweather did, but McGregor probably gave him the work.
Okay. So you ready for the answer?
What was the question?
How much you think Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather made?
And pay-per-view
Pay-per-view.
buys?
Yeah.
How much?
Take a guess.
I thought it was $1 million.
1 million?
Yeah.
All right. Is that your final answer? On who wants
Motherfucker,
to-
yeah, it's I don't know at this point, but yeah.
Shit is on screen for those of you who want to see.
Put it on screen.
That shit is 50 mil.
50 mil? That's
Fif-
fucking horse shit.
Yeah, 50 motherfucking mil. Yeah.
Okay, because I pulled it up too right now, and this is what it's saying. It's saying it's $50 per buy, but they only sold 1 million of them. So 1 million at 50 a pop. Yeah, that's the 50 mil. But that's what I'm asking. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
the money?
Yeah.
Or that's what I was asking you.
Just the pay-per-view sales. I'm sure they made a lot more with like souvenirs. and
Okay, but that's
fucking-
what I was talking about.
And drinks and all that shit.
That's what I was talking about. How many people actually bought the pay-per-view? I said 1 mil. I was already thinking 1 mil. 1 to 2 mils. That's
I
it.
said how much pay-per-view revenue.
Oh yeah, that shit probably was fucking astronomical for what it
Okay.
was.
All right. All right. Here's another question.
Okay, I'll put this away to prove my point.
What are the biggest money boxing fights? Like, what do you think is the biggest?
Oh, for sure, it must have been. I think it's still number 1. I think it's still Pacquiao and Mayweather. I think number 2 after that might have been McGregor and Mayweather, and I think this might be number 3.
The Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Mayweather one?
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, thankfully, none of the Paul brothers are in top 3.
Oh, okay,
Not even top 5.
good.
All right.
Fucking sluts. Anyway,
What do you want to know? Top three.
Yeah, run them to me.
Top three was Mayweather and Canelo, September of 2013.
Really?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Wait, it was number what?
Three.
Oh, three. Okay, I was thinking that.
In terms of pay-per-view sales, it generated 120 million. Um, Mayweather took home 65 million. This is in euros, so it's a
Oh,
lot more.
euros.
So
Yeah.
he took home
Fancy.
65 million euros. Canelo only took home 9.7 million euros. But in total, that whole fight generated 214 million euros. Number two was Mayweather against Conor McGregor,
Mm-hmm.
August of 2017.
Mm.
Pay-per-view sales 325 mil. Mayweather took home 223 million euros
Yeah.
from that fight. McGregor took home 70 million euros.
Yeah. It's crazy too, that much of a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fucking bizarre. Would you ever do a fight like that? Where you see that much of a difference? I personally don't think I can agree to that. I feel
Yeah.
like that's bullshit.
I will need more for sure.
Yeah.
He's making more than like double your
Exactly.
shit.
Be like,
Yeah.
no, fuck you.
And the number one of all time, up to date, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao,
Yeah.
May 2015. In terms of pay-per-view, holy shit, pay-per-view. Let me fucking.
Pay-per-view total gross, right?
This shit is up for the fucking people who want to see this shit. Yeah, total pay-per-view. This shit is up for 333 million euros. Mayweather took home 223 million euros.
What was the total?
223 million euros
For the whole thing?
for the whole thing.
223 million euros.
Pacquiao took home 122 million euros, but in total, that fight took home a total of 678 million euros,
Okay,
which
so
equals 100 and fuck ton of dollars.
yeah, so okay, this thing's not answering anything. Anyway,
Crazy. I mean, I'm over
Yeah.
here. I'm over here trying to not waste $20 and shit, and these fools over here making 220 million euros and shit.
so apparently to the US dollar that's 253.
That's a fuck ton of money.
That's a fuck ton of money.
You feel like you could waste $253 million?
Fuck no, I can't.
I feel like I can low key.
You gotta reevaluate yourself.
$253
bro.
million dollars. How many Lamborghinis is that?
Why would you even buy a
How
Lamborghini?
many Bugattis is that?
Why would you buy that?
253 Bugattis?
I'm still buying that Model 3.
I'm still fucking riding in my fucking Honda and shit. But I feel low key like okay, I'd buy a new house.
Yeah.
I'd buy a new wardrobe. I'd
Okay,
buy
a
some
new
shoes.
house. To go back on the last episode, a
I'd
new
buy
house
like
with a lot
5
of
houses.
anchor. Oh shit, I don't know about that.
I'd buy like one big house that I'm gonna live in for the rest of my life, and then I'd buy my parents a house.
Yeah.
I'd buy my fucking siblings a house.
Yeah.
And then like I'd buy a house for my niece and nephew who are like 5 years old, to just set them up for the future. And then all that shit is investment.
Well, would you buy them $1 million house, or would you buy them like a $500,000 house?
I'd probably buy them like a 500. Well, here in LA, this is like $1 million house.
That's
even
what
though
I'm
it's,
saying. Like,
whatever.
I personally would not give them anything crazy. I
I would
feel like
buy
I would
them-
just get my parents like something very spacious and very structured. It's like maybe $2 million at most in LA, and
I'd
then they
get-
can have that.
Here's a better thing. Instead of buying my niece and nephew houses, I'd buy them like stocks and some shit that I think is gonna blow up. So that
You're
way,
gonna buy some NFTs.
so that way it just fucking blows up exponentially. But then I'd buy like Disneyland. How much is Disneyland? Disneyland is probably worth like billions of dollars and shit.
You're gonna buy Disneyland. That would take a drastic turn.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're not keeping your money.
With $250 million, you could buy a fuck ton of companies. I bet.
Why don't you just open your own theme park at that point?
Well, I wouldn't want to open my own theme park. That just sounds like a big gamble. Fucking Knott's Berry Farm sucks ass compared to fucking Disneyland. Yeah, bro, you can't compete
Oh
with
my
Disneyland.
God.
It's too late.
That's funny. Damn, 253 million US dollars, not euros, dollars.
I feel like I could spend it.
US dollars. Really? I
Um,
don't think I can spend that much.
All my homies would never struggle with weed anymore. They
Fuck
don't-
the homies. The fuck have they done for me? All right, now keep it a buck. Will you be that type of guy where like, oh, my homies eating all that stuff? I don't believe in that shit. I believe.
Nah, I'm
look,
sorry, food.
this is what I believe. This is. All right, I'm gonna be honest. This isn't the beer talking. This is me. I feel like if I had this much, if I decided to be a fighter and I somehow made it to this much money, bro, I'll give you fucking Like 10 mil.
Sick ass fool.
Because it's only 253, bro. I could spare 10.
30 ass fool. Never mind.
Okay, I mean, like, come on, dog. Come on. Oh, you're not going to take 10 mil, bitch? That's not enough for you?
I'm going to take the dinner with Jay-Z instead.
He's going to tell you should take the 10 mil, G. I'll give you 10 mil, dog. That's yours to do whatever the fuck you want. You want to invest in NFTs, dog? That's on you. But, I mean, you could buy a fucking... Look, and if you want to stay in L.A., you can get a decent house.
You can get a really good house.
You could get a decent house for like 1 to 2 mil.
Yeah.
A really good, spacious house for your dogs, for your pets, whatever
Still,
the fuck.
we should mention, it's still overpriced.
Very overpriced, but you could still stay
Yeah.
where you could basically pick and choose where you want to be in LA.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
with 10 mil, you could pick and choose.
And let's say it's 2 mil at most, you still have 8 mil. What are you honestly gonna do with 8 mil? Maybe I'm just being simple right now. Honestly, the next car I want to get, and I just want to end it at that, is the Model 3. That's literally the next car one. That's it.
Tesla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need a simple sedan. A sedan that has all the features I need, takes me to point A to point B, and that's it. Will I still want a Lamborghini from like 1980? Sure, but I know that's a waste of money because I know there's no need for that.
Yeah, I'm putting like 1 mil for me to blow on stupid shit.
Exactly,
And-
exactly.
and-
And you still have 7 mil left
Yeah,
after that.
yeah.
So what the fuck you gonna do? And even if you go to StockX with all these bullshit resellers and you buy all the Jordans you want, bro, you're still not even gonna crack like 5K. You can probably buy 10 pairs that you genuinely been wanting forever. You're gonna get them, and you probably will not. You'll still be under 10K. 10K. That's not even 100K. That's 10K out of a million.
What do you know what the most expensive Jordan is?
No, it's probably some stupid ass fucking shoe.
Nah, well, I mean, in terms of like the look, it's like whatever. It's the Eminem Force, the Jordan. Eminem.
Oh,
Jordan
I heard
4s.
about them. Yeah, how much are those bitches going
I don't
for?
know, like $30,000, something like that.
For some reason, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're pretty cool. I wish I would like to have those fucking.
Oh yeah,
shoes.
45,000
Yeah, but at that point, like
for no reason,
At that point, do you even wear them outside? Like you're gonna get jumped. You're literally wearing.
bro. You have
45
7 million left in the bank. Who fucking cares?
Okay, but you're literally wearing $45,000 on your fucking
Yeah.
feet. You're gonna get jumped. I'd jump you if you have fucking. If you're
Yeah.
wearing those.
And while you're taking my shoes off me, I'll be like, yeah, take it, you broke bitch.
You probably got like security and shit to fucking
Yeah.
watch you.
Bro, you got 7 mil left. What are you gonna like? What's not to do? Like, you can't afford security now. You should have got a gun at that point, bro. And who even knows where California's gonna be at that time? Maybe you have a stand your ground law at that point. Start blasting these fools. They should start blasting these fools. I'm all in favor for fucking stand your ground. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. But, yeah, look, I feel like even with 10 mil, that's doable.
with 10.
That's very doable. The best house you can get is probably like $1 mil to 2 at most.
Well, what fucking Jeff Bezos bought like some crazy ass house here in LA for like 100
He's a
and
fucking
20
idiot.
million.
For what?
There's that fucking house that they build in like fucking Beverly Hills. I don't know where the fuck, some rich part of town. That's like I don't know what crazy ass expensive amount it is to live in there. Like something like millions of dollars to live there a month. And they're like, yeah, no one wants to live in here. Like this is a problem. Like we built a sick ass house and no one wants to live in it. It's like, yeah, dick. Maybe because it's worth like $320 million a month and shit.
Do you honestly feel like you would need that big of a house?
No, but it'd be sick as fuck.
It will be sick, but I feel
I
like
feel like there'd be
okay.
a part of me that would feel guilty. Like, damn, I'm over here
Exactly.
living in this big ass
Exactly.
house and there's some fucking homeless food.
Exactly.
And that's so far from here.
But then you also have to. Okay, look, personally, maybe I'm just too much of a fucking simpleton, but I just don't see the reason to ever buy
gotta
that
say
big of a
fuck those
house
fools?
or that, huh?
You gotta say fuck the homeless.
I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? Donate to LA just so they could pocket that shit again?
Yeah, that's true. You can't trust these fucking
Exactly.
politicians
You
out
might as well
here.
just go build a house for these fools yourself and fucking just put them in that fucking home.
Yeah.
You can't fucking trust the city with this shit
What am I
anymore.
gonna do? Donate to charity?
For what? So they could buy some Jordan 4s? So they could buy some Eminem 4s? Can't do it. But anyway, just to like go back to these fucking boxing fights. This is why I wish that fucking the UFC would just let them get their personal endorsements.
Real quick, I'm looking at one of these fucking lists real quick. I'm gonna put this shit up on screen so everyone can fucking see. One of the most fucking expensive fucking houses in LA costs $295 million.
What does it do?
I don't know, but that shit has 21 beds.
Why the fuck? See what I'm talking about? They just spend money on stupid shit.
This shit has 21 beds, fucking 45.5 baths. I don't know why the fuck they put
Why
that
the
point five.
fuck do you need that?
45.5 baths. And this shit is 105,000 square feet. Yeah. That shit is on 944
You bought a
Aerial
fucking
Way.
city at that point. What the fuck? 21 beds, bro. I could change bedrooms for 3 weeks straight before I have to fucking go back to the first room.
Yeah, for real, for real. Fucking, that shit is just crazy, bro. Like over here, fucking. Okay, the second most expensive house listed right now has 19 beds.
You deserve to get your fucking house rated at that point. The fuck you need 19 bedrooms for?
Monthly is $1,000,000 $39,302.
Suck a dick. There's no reason for all that shit. The fuck out of here. I'm sorry. This is why I fucking hate rich people.
Cheers to this shit, bro. That shit was too depressing. Fuck those fools. And on top of that, we got fucking Gavin. You sent over here telling us to wear a mask in between our bites. Fuck you. That fool's over here getting his dick sucked at the French Laundry and shit.
Fuck that fool. I mean, speaking of fucking California's bullshit things, do you feel like it's this, do you feel like this makes sense, or do you feel like this is all just like democratic bullshit? How California is allowing 12-year-olds to get the vaccine without their parents? I feel like you're just asking for dumb shit to happen.
That shit is a slippery slope, for sure.
Yeah, because it's, first of all, why are you giving 12-year-olds that type of
How come
freedom?
how come you couldn't buy weed when you were 12 years old?
Exactly.
These fools over here picking and choosing and shit.
Exactly. And even, okay, look, even if you want to get into what the vaccine does, what it can't do, this and that,
They're really
it's
pushing
so
it.
politicized that now that's a thing where, oh,
Yeah.
well, a 12-year-old can just decide, because what if they have conservative parents and they don't let them get the vaccine?
Yeah, this
And
shit is
it's,
getting...
again, also, it's about politics. It has nothing to do with what the fuck it does.
Yeah, fuck, those fools are fucking getting rich.
Can a 12-year-old go buy condoms then?
That's what I would do if you give me 10 mil. I'm gonna buy stocks in Pfizer and Moderna because those motherfuckers right
Yeah.
now getting rich as a motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Fuck Pfizer, Moderna.
I'm not saying this whole pandemic is engineered, but they're taking advantage of this shit. So,
Oh yeah, they saw the light. They saw the green line. They fucking took. They hit
Yeah.
the gas full throttle.
And now that it's gotten to the point where your fucking 12-year-old can go without your permission to get the shit. I mean, this is the first.
And isn't it strange how you're allowing a 12-year to do that? Oh, you mean a child that's very easily impressionable?
Yeah, for
The
real.
same democratic state that's also pushing to do the vaccines,
Yeah.
and you're gonna give the freedom to the child who's just gonna follow the fucking majority, which is to get the
It's
vaccine.
just saying like don't listen to your parents. Fucking listen to the agenda and shit.
Exactly.
Listen to what everyone else is saying and shit.
Exactly. It's fucking bizarre. It's fucking baffling. But in terms of like other weird politics, I'm surprised. We didn't talk about it when it happened, but we're gonna talk about it right now. Prince Andrew's defending the fact that he was friends with Epstein, but he lost. He lost everything. I guess all his credentials.
Supposedly.
Supposedly he lost it.
Yeah.
I don't think he really lost it. I think it's a publicity stunt. I think it's a PR move. I
Yeah.
think it's to like, I think it's to show people that they care about what happened, and that this is his repercussions. But I don't think it matters at the end of the day.
I read some shit that they were trying to arrest that fool. Where they had a warrant for his arrest, but because that fool was hiding in like the palace or whatever, the palace like technically counts as like its own land or some shit like that.
Oh, of course it does.
So the police can't like physically enter there, and it's like, dick, if it was some other fool who lived on fucking 123 fucking Birmingham Street, they'd fucking knock that fool's door down and have that fool
Exactly.
arrested like in a minute.
Exactly.
So just because it's this fool, they're over here saying like, oh, he's in his house, we can't fucking arrest him. He's having tea.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of bullshit is this?
Yeah, you can have this fucking tea bag. What the fuck? Fuck that shit. Fuck those crumpets. Fuck that tea. Well, whatever. Supposedly this is his way of paying for defending his friendship with Epstein. I mean, I'm surprised that they made the move, but I think at the end of the day, it wasn't because they have this high moral ground. I think it's just because, A, you're making the palace look bad right now. You're making the kingdom look bad. You need to at least look like you're being punished for something, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Fucking, I mean, who knows where any of this shit's even gonna go? Or I doubt it's gonna fucking lead anywhere. They're over here trying to prosecute Ghislaine and good, right? But I mean, these fools are over here fucking forgetting about all the other fools who are on the fucking island and
Exactly.
shit. So this shit don't
Supposedly
really make
Tom
no
Hanks
sense.
is on there. No more Toy Story movies from that motherfucker.
What the fuck, Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah, supposedly, who else was on there? Will Smith? Fuck your
Smith.
motivational videos, dog.
I'm glad fucking what's her name? What's that fool's wife's name?
Who?
Jada Smith, I think.
Jada Pinkett Smith?
I'm glad she's been cheating on you, dog.
Fucking whore. Anyway, but let's get to the hard hitting questions that you asked me. Would I fuck a woman with no arms?
You said no.
No,
Why?
I can't, bro.
Just because she
What
has
if I
no
want her to
arms?
jerk me off? What is she gonna do?
She could suck your dick. What do you mean?
It doesn't hit the same.
What
It
the?
doesn't hit the same.
You
without the
prefer a
arms.
hand job over a blow job?
No. I'm just saying, like, hands
Exact-
in there helps. You know.
It helps, but that doesn't mean she's not sucking your dick.
What if she sucks a sucking dick? You need the hand to help her. That's like shooting. To me, that's like shooting a basketball without that hand on the side to guide the ball. That doesn't make sense to me.
Having it on the side.
To guide the ball, yeah. Like if she's first of all, she has to be really good. Okay, hold on. Let me hit you with a question. How long has she not had her arms for?
What difference would it make?
Because if she didn't have it for that long, if she didn't have it for a long time, she probably knows what she's doing down there.
She
But if
probably
you tell
made
me
up
she
for
lost
it?
her arms like 2 years ago, she probably doesn't know what she's doing.
I don't know. I see what you're trying to say, but I don't know. I feel like either way. No,
Okay, let me paint a graphic image for you.
I
If
think-
I'm hitting it doggy style, if I'm hitting a doggy style and I'm making her arch that back, I'm a dick. You know why I'm a dick? Because she has to put her arms out to stretch. She has no arms, bro. I'm just making her
I thought
fucking put her
about
face
that.
in
I
there.
thought about it. Yeah, why not? Some
I'm not
girls
trying to
do
kill
it.
the bitch.
Some girls do that shit. Some girls do the whole face on the floor or whatever the surface you were fucking on.
I mean, there's no fun in that. I want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear muffled screams. I don't want to hear fucking muffled talk. No, bitch. She has no choice but to be muffled because she has no arms to fucking help her propel up.
She might have her head twisted or one way she's not gonna be fucking suffocating straight on the
I don't
pillow
know,
or
fool. I
something.
feel like a bully doing that shit.
I would feel like a bully, and not unrelated to this shit. I hope this isn't how she lost her arms, but in the dark web, I seen that fools fucking like sell fucking people with like mutilated arms and shit, so that way they don't run away and shit like that. Dark life itself is
How do you get
crazy.
on the dark web?
You
I'm too scared to do that.
you download like fucking other servers, or I forgot what the proper name for it is, but there's like Thor. I think it's called Thor. Throm. I don't know. I'm fucking mixing my shit up like that.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna do it.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it unless you want the FBI to show up at your door. But
Yeah.
but
Why
yeah,
the fuck are you buying arms?
but I mean, you could literally buy fucking sex slaves and show like no arms, no legs, so
That's
that-
weird.
no teeth.
That's weird. Out of
Yeah.
all the sex slaves you could buy, you
If-
want to buy one with no arms?
Well, I mean, so they don't run away. I mean, I
There's
mean, I'm not
really
trying.
some
I'm not
legs,
trying to.
though.
I'm not trying to sell people that with no arms and shit. I'm not trying to sell sex
Would you
slaves.
smash?
No, they're fucking sex slaves. What do you mean?
No. Oh, you care now? No.
If
Bitches
she
with
had,
no
if she lost her arms in an accident, or she was born with no arms, fine. But if she was mutilated because she was sold into sex trafficking, I'd be like, nah, I can't fuck you.
What if she like redeemed herself, became like an international bestseller? She wanted to fuck you. She's a successful woman at this
International
point.
bestseller. Of
You
what?
don't sound like you support women's rights, bro.
So like, what? She was in sex trafficking, and then she escaped, and now she's like,
A New York Times bestseller.
then yeah, but if
How she wrote the book, I don't fucking know.
I don't know. If she was a fucking if she was in sex trafficking, that shit would be real hard. I feel like you wouldn't even have sex at that
I feel like
point.
you don't like women empowerment, dog.
That shit.
Bro, she went through this. She flipped it on its head. She became a New York Times best-selling author, and then she says, "Fernie, you're my man now. We've been together for a year or so, and throw
I
it back
wouldn't
for
date
me,
her.
or like I'm gonna throw it back for you."
Would you date a woman with no limbs, or
No.
with a missing limb?
No.
Or she didn't have one
No,
arm.
sounds like
one
a
leg?
child. What do I want a child for?
What if she had no left arm?
No left. Why the left arm?
Just no.
I mean, damn. I don't know.
Have you ever thought about like what it would be like to? Do you remember? Do you remember the coworker we had?
I know. That's why I know you're going with this.
Oh, I wasn't going there. She just popped into my head. But okay, but this is a good example. 'Cause she, regardless of the missing limb, she was really good looking. So okay, although she has, although hers is not as mutilated as the girl in the video where I showed you who her limbs were amputated up to her shoulders. Although it's not that bad, like you get me.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the most mutilated you could go?
Like missing a finger.
Missing what the? That's
That's
another thing.
about the most I'll go.
Yeah,
Look, bro. Look, I'm sorry.
I could
As
go a whole
much
arm.
as much as I would like to say that, I think deep down it would end up bugging me at some point. I think deep down it would
You
bug
feel
me.
like you could fuck a little
A
person?
midget? No.
Fools be wilding, huh?
What was your actual question? My bad, G. What was your question? Would I fuck a girl with no arm? Just one missing arm?
What's the most
A finger.
A finger?
Yeah.
So she had a one missing arm? Nah.
Nah.
She had. So the coworker we're talking about? Nah.
Okay, are we talking about just fucking?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So
If
let's,
you're asking me if I'm gonna bring her home for Christmas Eve, no, I can't.
oh no, right?
No, it's fucking
but
weird. I gotta explain all that shit to everybody.
but what's the most? What's
A
the
finger.
most?
To actually date and stay with,
Not
a finger.
Okay.
Just to fuck, sure.
With no arms?
One arm. That's it.
One
she needs
arm.
one of them.
What about leg? What about feet? What if she got no feet and she got Donkey Kong arms?
I think as long as she
What if she looks like SpongeBob when that fool blows up the fucking when that fool blows up the muscles and shit? And
like
that fool just
she only
jacked.
like she only has arms and no legs.
Yeah, no, but she's
No, I'd
fucking
rather
jacked.
I'd rather at that point, if that's the case, where the two arms and no legs, or two legs and no arms, I'd rather take the two legs at that point.
I think so too. I'd take the two legs or the two arms.
That's just weird if she doesn't have fucking legs. That's weird.
yeah.
To me, that's just weird. I'm not fucking insulting people that don't have the legs. I'm just saying,
Yeah, we feel free.
if you're
though.
asking me, I don't feel like I'm comfortable with someone that doesn't have two legs.
What if she had one leg, one arm?
One leg and one arm. Cool.
Yeah.
I guess. Depends. Depends on how and like I said, we're just talking about in the terms of booty calls. Then yeah, fuck it, why not?
I don't know. This shit's going all over the place. We're talking about fucking bitches with no hands, no arms, and shit.
I mean, these are the hard-hitting questions people want to know. But just to end it, you told me you don't watch TV. I think that's fucking weird as shit. But anyway, I watched the first season of Euphoria, and I started the second season because everyone keeps talking about it. This is my thing. This is a show about high schoolers that do drugs, fuck each other. There's a lot of drama in there. When you were in high school, did you feel like there was that much drama?
No.
I definitely don't.
I think there definitely was in the high school. However, I chose not to be part of it.
Okay. Were people probably going through shit and doing drugs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I think it's to the extent where it almost seems like the whole high school is doing it? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think it was a very small majority that were going through that, and I think they had to be in some really fucked up shit to be going through that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew people in high school who were already doing like heroin and shit.
Yeah, but they probably had a really fucked up home life.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. You're not gonna tell me that fucking Brittany in your fucking 12th grade.
In my
fucking-
AP classes over
Exactly,
here
your
doing heroin.
AP class was doing heroin and she has like a fucking fully structured nuclear home and shit, you know? Like, I really doubt that.
Yeah.
And I get that what they're doing is they're trying to portray like a realistic, they're trying to show you this realistic image of what it's like to be an American high school student. But from the stories I've heard before me, the stories I hear after me, the stories that I've had since I was in high school, you don't really meet that many crazy people that are doing crazy ass drugs like that and having really fucked up situations. And I'm not going to go too long onto this because I know this might be a delicate subject for some people. I definitely didn't have a nice home life, but it's enough to say yeah, I had a couple opportunities probably to do heroin, but I chose not to.
Mhm.
I don't think this bitch that fucking lost her dad that died or whatever is like, yeah, my next step in life is to fucking do heroin in high school. Why? Or so having good grades wasn't your next step. It was just fuck it. Let's just go straight to heroin. Let's go straight to fucking coke. Well, how the fuck does that work?
Well, I mean, when you have a fucked up home life, who gives a fuck about getting straight A's in high school? You
I
feel
do.
me?
What the fuck? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's weird shit like that never makes sense to me because maybe I'm listening too much David Goggins and fucking JRE, but it's like you still have the opportunity to better yourself.
Yeah.
How is that never gonna be the thing you want to do? Because motherfuckers that still take drugs are trying to better, quote unquote, the situation they're in. So you're still looking for a better outlet.
Yeah.
The thing is, someone told you that the better outlet was drugs. It wasn't by actually doing something better with yourself, which is what I always found weird. Did I know motherfuckers are doing hard drugs? Yeah, I did, but it's because they didn't want to do the schoolwork. They didn't want to do sports. They didn't want to get a job. They didn't want to do the things they know they needed to do. So they thought, well, how can I still be responsibility free and do what I want to do? I'll just do drugs. Did they actually think it like that? Probably not. But like I said, I was like, bro, you could have just fucking went to tutoring after school. I don't think you needed to do fucking heroin in the fucking gym. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too much of a dick, but I've seen people fall, and I know the reasons they fall is because they didn't want to do the work needed to improve themselves. That's why when I see shows like Euphoria, it's like, why are we glorifying this type of shit?
Yeah.
I get it. This bitch had a rough life. Who doesn't have a rough life? But if your decisions to do drugs instead to numb the pain, you're never gonna move past the pain until you actually do something about it. You know, if you're fucking, oh, my dad died, oh, my best friend died, blah blah. I'm sorry, yeah, I'm pretty sure it sucks and it fucking hurts. But doing heroin is not gonna make this fucking better. Doing coke is not gonna make this better. And I feel like they know that, but they choose to do that because they don't want to actually improve themselves. And they think, oh, well, this is the easy way. I'm 17. This is what I know. No, bitch, you know geometry. You know algebra 2. What the fuck are you talking about? You know heroin. You didn't even know what heroin was till 2 days ago.
Hey, fucking looking back on this shit, algebra 2 and geometry wasn't really that hard and shit.
Exactly. In that moment, shit's hard because we're not used to things we don't know. But then once it looks easier, we'll rather go that route, you know?
I mean, but that's everybody though. Like the brain always takes the path of least resistance, and if your path of least resistance is either fucking
Okay, hold on.
trying
hold on,
to
hold
get my
on. I know where you're
life,
going with
life
this.
together with
I know
no
where you're going with
parents and shit, and like my household is falling apart. We're doing drugs.
How much do you used to weigh before?
Like 250. That was probably
Okay.
my heaviest.
Okay. That's pretty heavy, right, for your
Yeah.
size. That's probably arguably unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that's unhealthy?
Yeah, but I know where you're going with this, but I don't want to compare my life to other people's who do drugs because I feel like I've had a really easy life.
So what do you say for the guy that had the same life like you and just chose to do drugs?
Well, I don't know. Drugs are fun. It's easy to get hooked into drugs.
What drugs have you done outside of fucking weed?
I've done
Weed. We're considering it a drug.
I drank. I've fucking smoked weed.
Now, this apparently isn't a drug because this is
I
available to
fucking
everybody.
take caffeine. I've done mushrooms. I've done LSD,
Okay.
and that's pretty much
Okay,
it.
okay.
I've tried NOS, but I didn't get high off of it. And then, well, that was that one time and only.
How
time I
old
ever
were you when you
tried
tried Nas?
it. I don't know. I was like 16. My girlfriend at the time did it, so I tried it, and I was like, yeah. this is
Okay,
not
if
for
you're
me.
21 doing Nas, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much all I do. I probably wouldn't try any other. I probably won't try any other drugs until like I'm fucking set. Till I have.
But why? Why are you waiting till you're set?
Well, because like I said, I feel like it's really easy to fall into drugs because, in my opinion, drugs are really fun. And I know I sound like a fucking druggie saying that shit, but that's the truth, bro. Drugs are fun.
Yeah.
And drugs in
Sure.
a controlled environment and drugs in a controlled environment and in moderation can be a good thing in life. You feel me?
Okay.
So, but I feel like it's also easy to fucking just pour a lot of that shit, and then.
But
fuck
that's
up
the
your
thing, is that everybody wants to take the easy route. Is that everybody wants to just do the drugs because it's easier. But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't take rocket science. It doesn't take physics. It doesn't take anything that's this crazy mathematics thing that they have to learn to fucking do the simple shit. It's like, bro, if you want to fucking do better in your life, and if you're in high school, just do the fucking work. That's literally all you have to. Your only job is to do your high school work. I get it. Your home life. Oh, my home life. This is why I'm very hard on it because I didn't have a good home life from 9th to 12th grade. I genuinely did not. So maybe I'm too hard on this because I know what it's like to be on the hard life. I really do. And it's not like, oh, well, you had a. Like, no, bro. I'm telling you. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'm telling you for anyone that's listening, I know exactly what the fuck they're gonna try to go for and say, "Oh, I have the heart." I know exactly what route they're gonna go. I know exactly what they're trying to make the excuse of. So I'm saying you have a choice. If you already have that conscious decision and you have that conscious moral compass, if you have the moral compass telling you maybe heroin isn't what's gonna help me in school, you should probably follow that, and that's probably as far as it can go.
But what if your mom is like shooting heroin and your dad is sucking dick for crack? You know, like what
Why
is
would
that?
you do the same thing then?
What? Well, that's the only example you have. Like that's what you're surrounded by. You get me? Like how?
That's not the only example you have because when you go to school, you're not seeing the other people do the same thing.
But when your mom is doing heroin and your dad is sucking dick for crack, I don't think there's anyone forcing you to go to school or anyone telling you school is like a good path to take or one of the good paths you can take. You feel
But
me?
they know that's the path to take. You have this moral compass to tell you what to do. If you're seeing that, hey, my mom didn't make him through school, my dad didn't make it to school. Here's my dad sucking dick for crack because my mom doing fucking heroin. I think you're smart enough to do. I think everyone's smart enough to understand, like, maybe school's what's gonna help me not do these things.
Yeah, yeah, bro. But we're saying that as people who don't suck dick for heroin. You feel me? But
I mean, you could have if
but
you wanted
but
to.
people who do suck dick for heroin, they don't see that shit.
The
like that, you
hardest
feel
moment in
me?
your life, why didn't you do the crazy hard things like everybody else? You don't have to
Uh,
tell me what it is, but in your head, the hardest
well,
moment you've
here,
ever had, why didn't you do it?
okay, but comparing my hardest thing in life to like some other foods, like okay, like my hardest thing in life compared to Ngannou's hardest thing in life, like that fool almost died like 3 times in the middle of the desert. You get me? Like that shit is nothing compared to the shit. I mean, my shit is nothing compared to the shit he's been through. You feel me? So I don't.
But he didn't go
So
do heroin,
so
right?
so he didn't do heroin. You feel me? So everybody's fucking thing is different. It's like the thing that Joe Rogan says, like the hardest thing you've ever been through is the hardest thing you've ever been through. So like you feel me? Like people, even if it's like a minor thing, people take it as like the fucking end of the world because
Oh yeah,
that's the worst
definitely,
that's the worst thing that's ever happened to them.
definitely. But this, my argument is that when people start treating it as like this is the end all be all, I always feel like, and this is going off myself and just the other stories that I've had people want to even tell me themselves.
Yeah.
It always seems like as a human you have this moment before you decide these crazy things. It always seems like that. No matter what the fuck happens, it always seems like you have that moment to truly decide. As crazy as it fucking
Sh-
sounds,
Yeah, there's always that moment, but I mean, it's not as easy. Like, I get what you're saying, bro, but I don't think it's that easy. If not, there wouldn't be these fucking drug addicts. There wouldn't be people failing rehab and shit. You feel me?
but
If it really
okay.
was like just take the moment, if it really was like the Dare program, if it really was just saying no, we wouldn't have people sucking dick for crack. There wouldn't be people shooting up heroin.
But these are the same people that want to say they don't want to do these things anymore. My
Yeah,
whole argument is that it
but
takes you to actually accept that you don't want to do this and to actually make the effort to not do it. That's my whole argument. So when I
definitely,
see these
I
kids in
I
the
agree.
show
I agree.
just doing this, it's like, okay, well, show me a part in the show where these kids actually trying to fight it. Not just fucking
But
say, oh, fuck it, let me just do
but
fucking heroin.
but that's the TV. You can't compare.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You can't
My
compare
whole
TV
argument
to
was
real
this fucking
life.
Euphoria show is fucking stupid.
Of-
This whole shit's fucking
They're,
crazy.
they're not gonna show no one trying to better themselves because that shit's not gonna sell.
Yeah, you're right. Fucking just sex and drugs sell, and
Yeah.
that's what's sad. But to even tie it back to real life people, yeah, you're right. The hardest thing you go through is what you go through, and it's never going to be compared to what other people are going
Yeah.
through, like Ngannou and whatnot. Yes, I understand that. But even in your hardest moment, I know for a fact you were smart enough, and everyone's smart
So now go
enough.
suck dick for crack.
Everyone knows and is smart enough to
But
know, like,
if
like you have that moment. You have that. Was it the fork in the road moment?
but you don't go from the fork on the road isn't like going to school and sucking dick for crack. The fork on the road is like going to school and not going to school, and then eventually it becomes like fucking going to work or sucking dick for crack. You feel me? Like it's not just like so black and white. There's a lot of gray area in between, and those black and whites and gray areas are different for every person.
Okay, I never. Okay, I'm not saying there's no such thing as a gray area. The thing that I'm saying is that this idea that people just go off the deep end, I don't ever believe that shit. I personally don't. Because, and again, it's not to go back to black and white.
Yeah.
My argument is that no one's stupid enough to just assume that's how bad it's going to get. You always have that decision at the end of the day. And most of the time, the decision we don't want to make is the decision we know we
You
have
should
to
make
make.
for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Sure, everything's gray, but even in the gray moments, you can most likely tell what's black and white. In the gray moments, you can still tell.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not easy to always make the good decision. You feel me? Not if not the entire role would be David Goggins.
If I was okay, if somebody I knew was saying, "Hey, I have a fucked up home life. I don't really have a home to go to," but I know that if I start, I know I'm so lazy that if I stop going to school tomorrow on Thursday, I'm just not gonna go back for the rest of the week. If I really want to stay in school, I'm gonna just keep going. When a person has that much self awareness of themselves, because most people do, most people know themselves more than they want to admit. So when
Yeah.
these people know themselves enough to that point, and they still choose like, oh no, maybe I can break the pattern out of nowhere with no practice, no discipline. No, you purposely set yourself up to fucking miss it because you knew you were never gonna beat it to begin with. Like John Jones, he wants to fucking keep saying he's gonna fight these heavyweights. Motherfucker, you know you're not if you're not gonna stop doing this dumb shit you're doing on outside of the
Yeah.
UFC. You know you're not. So until the day you fucking confront yourself and say, "Hey, I really need to stop doing this shit. I'm gonna make this change now."
I really need to stop beating my wife.
Exactly. Then we can see that change happen. But if you're just saying and you're saying all this and that, we know it's not really gonna happen. My thing is like with these shows is like you're right, it doesn't sell, and that's the sad part. To see a character actually do better in their life and make themselves improve and just do good in life. And this show, granted, it's all fiction, it's all fabricated, but to see these characters not do something better with themselves, at least personally, makes me feel like, why the fuck do I care then to watch these guys? All I'm gonna see is keep going downhill. I can
This
already
is
know.
why I don't watch TV, bro. This
And
is
you're
why I
right.
don't watch
Maybe
none
I
of
should
this
stop
shit.
watching TV too then at this point, because this shit's just sad. Fuck Euphoria. Fuck all those shows. Zendaya, sure you're doing a good job as an actress, but
It's nothing
these
against
stories
some of
suck
those
ass,
fools, but
man.
like I forget who brought up this point, but it's a really good point. Like we physically, you are what you eat, right? You are what you consume, and if you
You
consume a
reap
bunch of
what you sow.
garbage,
You are what you consume. Yeah,
if you
sure.
consume a bunch of garbage,
You're gonna
you know
become
your
garbage.
body's gonna
Yeah.
be a bunch of garbage. So if you're over here consuming this mental garbage, mentally
Yeah.
you're gonna be garbage. So that's
Yeah.
the way I see this shit. No disrespect to any of those foods on the show or to the show itself. You know, the show deserves
No,
to
these are
exist.
actors wanting to do
And
jobs. They want to do
and
these things. That's
yeah,
cool.
and in some parts of the world, you know, like they need that show to
Yeah.
fucking show these people like what the fuck
Yeah.
really goes down. But it's just not for me, you know, and plus sitting down and just fucking staring at a screen, unless it's sports, to me,
Sure.
I can't do it.
I see what you mean. But just to talk, okay, just to end it on Euphoria. The only thing I don't like about the show, it seems like it gives the green light to kids, or at least this new generation of kids.
Yeah.
We're not fucking those old farts yet to be fucking saying, "Oh,
I feel
these
like
kids."
we are, bro.
We're
We
getting
are.
there, but we're not there yet. We definitely are getting there. And I know saying this makes me sound like I'm already there, but I'm just trying to say that look, all these motherfuckers in high school right now. If I could give one piece of advice, if I was in freshman year right now in this current climate,
Smoke some weed.
smoke some weed, do your
I'm just
schoolwork.
kidding.
Smoke no. Smoke your weed, do your schoolwork, and be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself in terms of what you want to do with your life, what you want to strive for, who you are as a person, and that's it. Like that's the shit that a lot of people don't end up realizing until they're way older than they need to be. You know,
Yeah.
like when people are 35 years old, like damn, I really want to do this. This is something I've been wanting to do since I was 5. Bro, you should have been honest with yourself 30 years ago. You should have started from there on.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I get it. Life changes. I've been in that same spot, so I understand. My only thing is saying like I'm always beat myself up whenever I truly think about it because I'm like, damn, I knew what I wanted to do since I was 7 years old, and I just fucking bailed on myself.
Yeah.
You know, so just stay true to yourself. Stay true. Stay honest with what you want to do, and just push for it. The worst thing you can do is fail, and it's better to fail at what you want to do than to fail at something you don't want to do. Because imagine settling for a job you fucking hate and you fail at that. You should have just failed at what you wanted to do then. And the worst part is because you actually care about what you want to do, you probably won't even fucking fail. I feel like it's a very 50-50 at that point. If I want to be a boxer, I want to go fight these fools and make fucking 235 million euros. I should probably start boxing 10 years ago.
Hey,
The next best time to start is now.
but that didn't stop Jake Paul and Logan Paul from boxing and making millions. So it's
Thank
never
you.
too late.
And that doesn't stop even with these guys at their current age. It
Yeah.
doesn't even. It just shows you as long as you care enough to put the work into, and I'm using that word very loosely with them, because don't think they put the work in like they want to fucking
Yeah, they
portray.
had that platform.
Exactly, they have the
Yeah.
platform. That's really what it was. But if you're willing to be this nobody and put the work in at the same age that they're in, I do expect you to go far. Because if you care enough, you will get there.
Yeah.
The thing I always hear is that it's never how much. It's not just how much work you put in. It's how long do you keep putting the work in for.
Yeah.
Because how long did it take Jerry to blow up to where it's at? 10 years.
How long did it take this food to blow up?
Who fucking knows at this point? Because who knows when this shit will blow up. But I do believe that if we just keep putting out content, we just keep doing our thing and enjoying what we're doing and put our heart into it, I think it's going to take off to where it needs to go. And again, that's the key where it needs to go. I don't know. There's a bunch of shit out there. All this whatever. I don't know. All I know is I need a piss right now. I think that's about it for what we're fucking here to talk about. Let us know in the comments. If you have any inspirational quotes you want to share, send it to us because I always need inspiration every day. Other than that, my boy, what do you think?
Fucking, if you take one thing from this podcast, I hope it's that jokes are fun.
Jokes are fun.
But always in moderation. If you need help, it's never too late to go get it. And someone actually brought it up to us that we never plug ourselves on these things. So you can follow us at This Food Podcast on IG. You can follow me personally at mf_afer. You can follow
What's
my
my
guy
thing?
across
I don't even
from
know what's
me.
my thing. See, that's how much I don't care
He
about
doesn't
this.
know his at, so
I don't even know my own
you can
fucking
give your boy
at.
a follow. You can give the page a follow.
Dave Beckham with a 4 instead of an A because I'm cool.
There you go. You heard him there. All of our brews are on the page. All of our shit. We're on YouTube.
Show
we're
us
on
some love
Spotify,
on
Apple Podcasts.
on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Show us some love. Let us know that you guys fuck with this. If you do, if not, it's all cool.
Give us a like, subscribe, share us. It really helps. We appreciate it. And we're out of here, dog. Cheers.
Yes, sir.